Hello again, I am Blunty and this is the Owly Boobo. I reviewed it a couple of years back now and it's designed to be a frame for using your iPhone in and attaching extra lenses and stuff to. And it was pretty brilliant. It lets you use a bunch of different lenses, it had some weight to its stability, it had hot shoe, or cold shoe I should say there, for mounting lights and mics and stuff, and tripod sockets all over the place for whacking on more gear, and I really loved it. But now there is a new version which is undergone a bit of a name change. They call it the mCam these days, and this is the mCAMlite version, whereas the old Owly Boobo is just the mCam these days. Same sort of deal. So let's get this out of the way. Much like his big brother, the mCAMlite has been carved out of a solid billet of aluminium, so it's very tough, like unbelievably tough. Like you could run this over with a fair-sized truck and you would never even notice it had happened, kind of tough. So similar kind of construction idea. You've got the cold shoe up here for mounting lights and mics and whatever you want to put in there. You've got a tripod mounting socket there, you've got another one there and another one there, so you've got lots of options for screwing in not only tripods but other accessories and bits and pieces with the appropriate thread. And these have become quite popular with sort of citizen journalists type and reporters and convention goers and stuff like that, because you can use your iPhone, it adds you stability, you've got a nice big grip there, it helps smooth out the footage a little bit because more mass means more inertia, which means it's not so shaky. This is a new lens they put on here, which is nice and much more compact than the old version, but you've got the same sort of deal. It's a wide angle lens. You can unscrew it here and you can screw on whatever other lenses you want there, like telephotos and bits and pieces. And on the back of the lens here we've got a little macro lens there as well, so you can take extreme close-up shots. So you've got a lot of flexibility built into this one device. So it comes with an iPhone case to protect your iPhone while it's in the thing and also provide a very tight and secure fit. So I mean, this is really secure, and it actually is quite you have to be quite deliberate to get the thing out of there. And you've got appropriate sockets around here, so around the end here you've got your microphone and input and headphone input, and it does actually come with a microphone as well, this little guy here, which we'll have a listen to in a moment. So that can pop in there and you can point it forward or you can point it back if you're doing a commentary on what you're pointing it at, and it gives you a nice cleaner, more directional sound to the microphone as opposed to the omnidirectional one built into the phone itself. Around the bottom there you've got access to your accessory port still. Under here you've got your access to your mute button and your volume buttons, but you may have noticed by now the power button is obscured, so you can't actually turn the phone back off again unless you've got auto power off enabled, unless you pop it out of the frame, which can be a bit of a pain in the ass, but there is a workaround. So let's pop up the camera there just for the sake of doing it. So oh no, I need to turn my phone off. You can actually enable accessibility options, which brings up a little soft home button there, so you can hit that, go to device, go to screen lock, and it turns off. So you get around that. It's a bit of a workaround, but it gets the job done. So let's have a listen to this microphone. Okay, this is your point of reference. This is me on the microphone that's built into the iPhone 4S, which I've been using throughout this testing period. It's a pretty good microphone in and of itself. It's served me very well on a few occasions where, you know, I've had no other option but to use it. But as you may be able to tell, in a room like this, which is fairly small, you're getting a lot of echo, a lot of room noise and things like that. So while you can hear me okay, it doesn't sound particularly brilliant. So let's whack this thing in and see what kind of difference we can make with a little more directional microphone. And this is what I sound like through the microphone that comes with the mCAMlite. As you may be able to tell, it's picking up a little more volume, a little less of the room tone and room noise and the echo and things like that, because it's a lot more directional. And of course, being able to swing it back or forth, you can actually record whoever's in front of the camera or yourself behind the camera if you're commenting on whatever you're filming. So it picks up a little more stronger vocals than the built-in microphones do on the iPhone, which in themselves are pretty good, but this just gives you that little bit more edge when you're doing particularly talking head kind of stuff. So that out of the way, let's take a look at this lens and see how this performs in the real world, and just how wide is wide angle, is it distorting, is it soft, is it what? Let's take a look. Okie doke, so here we have some side-by-side comparisons. As you can see, the wide-angle lens isn't dramatically wide, but it does offer up much more flexibility when it comes to framing your shot. And in the case of talking head and interview kind of stuff in the field, where space and crowds are often restrictive, this will give you a lot more control and a nicer, more open frame. Also evident in these shots is just how good the lens actually is. It doesn't noticeably affect or degrade the colour saturation, contrast or sharpness of the focus at all. And although the extra glass does introduce some very slight colour fringing, in some circumstances it's only slight and you've really got to go pixel peeping to notice it at all, so it's really a non-issue for all but the most apocalyptically anal of shooters. When it comes to the macro shots, again, it's not the most extreme macro lens that's available for the iPhone, but it does offer a significant difference over the native lens's ability to focus at very close distances. And it adds some additional and quite pleasantly creamy background blur too, as a bonus. In video mode, it's much the same story. Take these deceptively tiny flowers, for instance. Oh, they're all itty-bitty and such. This is as close as the iPhone can get with only its own lens. But with the macro lens on the mCAMlite, it's a big difference. So if you're the kind of person who likes to take macro shots of flowers and bugs and such and peek into the teeny tiny world that most of us never notice, this will be very handy for you. And as with the older model, the extra bulk and weight of the mCAMlite adds some security and confidence to your grip when shooting with the svelte iPhone. But being noticeably lighter than the Big Brother model, it doesn't quite offer the same dramatic difference in stability when on the move. Although if used in combination with the wide-angle lens, walking shots still do benefit from the additional stability. So all said, all done, it's a really nice piece of kit. I really don't have any major complaints about it at all, or even minor complaints, come to think of it. It's just a really nicely thought out bit of kit. It's just makes life a little bit easier if you're using your iPhone to do that kind of sort of interview footage at cons and things like that, or you're doing some citizen journalism type stuff. Really, really handy for that. It makes a bunch of stuff really, really easy, including getting your talent or whoever you're recording closer to the camera with a nice wide angle lens so you can pick them up clearer with the microphone here, the directional microphone. Really, really good for that kind of stuff, and kind of fun for some photography too. The lenses give you nice flexibility, and they are really nice quality lenses, as I said before. Very, very sharp and clear, and they don't distort too much. So, yeah, the ALM mCAMlite. I recommend it. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I'll catch you next time.